everything out. Hopefully mic is working. See here, about the other day. So I'll have you know I ain't ever shed a tear in front of no one, not even my mother, and you won't soon catch me doing the like again. So if it please your lordship, we can both forget about the whole damn thing. The Sid I chose to follow all them years ago is gone, and there ain't no dragging him back from the depths of whatever hell he's talked his way into. But it's legacy that lives on, in you and everyone else here at the Hideaway, sure as the sky is blue. At least I think it's still blue. And as long as it is, I'll be right here where you can count on me. Otto. Wait, is there a payback? What's that payback? Greetings from the Crimson Caravans. I trust you and your party gained the Dominion without further event. Should your travels ever bring you back to the market and put you in need of additional assistance, you will find the Crimson Caravans more than happy to oblige. We might even offer a discount on our usual rates. Eloise. Let's see. Cruisebreaker Intelligence. Reports from our brothers and sisters afield are all the same. These accursed skies cast not only a pall over the land, but over the hearts of her people, hearts already heavy from the fall of the Dominion and the destruction of the storm's final Monte Cristo. For now the realms endure, but with each new flood do her few remaining children descend further into madness. The situation is as ever dire. Fresh wings shall you find on the new moon's turning. Until then, our watch continues. May the Cristo's curse be broken. And quite the mess. Word out of Twinside is that there's little left of the capital after the Mad Prince's royal tantrum. But what of you and yours? Did you manage and escape before the city went tits up? I trust you did, but a stolus might be good to set Elle's mind at ease. Theodore.
It will take time to come to terms with everything that happened in the Dominion. But time is the one thing we always seem to lack.
I need to put the volume down on this here, because I don't know how much of the mic is catching that.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tires? Clive.
I hope you're not expecting me to explain these guys. If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say it were the end of the world.
Whole realms in chaos.
I've had orders cancelled on me left and right, and that's from the new associates I haven't lost contact with.
As the old saying goes.
There's opportunity in adversity. The market for sharp steel is more bullish than ever. I'll find a way to keep this place fed and watered, don't you worry. I won't let our little family go hungry, whatever the weather. I think this probably is going to have us go to a different land, because obviously they said this is the last Monte Cristo in Twinside. And that's the thing. I've always wondered Twinside means there's probably another side, right? Wonder what it's called, like first side or something.
What do I owe the honor? Fretting about the skies.
See, fretting about the skies won't help me get my work done. So I'm going to keep to my forge and leave saving the world to those better suited to the task.
That is.
They fancy giving me a hand shooing the birds.
You do what you need to do, Clive.
I'll probably go talk to Hippocrates. Oh, you probably have new items too, don't you?
Trouble with your gear, or something for you, dear.
See, Brightburn. 2 better than what I have now. Silken Sash +1. Diamond Armor is +1. Okay. It's fine.
There's a storm coming, Sid.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. With the darkening skies,
See, with the darkening sky sphere has once again taken a hold of our hearts. And though I have not the power to dispel the gloom above, I should like to believe my tales help to lighten it below.
Be that as it may,
Turning our eyes from the problems which face us will not help to solve them. A mere tale cannot lighten the burden of those who must bear the weight of the world.
I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before.
Hippocrates of his adventures. Updates the tones. The more you know,
Here's
trophy.
a rather fascinating excerpt I've been meaning to show you.
See, Heart of the Mother Crystals. The bright convolution of shards that sits at the center of each Mother Crystal. When the heart shatters, so too does the mountain around it. Since time memorable sanctuaries have been built around the hearts for the worship and protection of these irreplaceable treasures. The hearts, however, have their own methods of self-defense, replying to any attack upon them with unique and deadly magics. See, Lost Mother Crystals. When Sidolphus Telamon put his plans to destroy the Mother Crystals in motion, 5 of their number towered over the twins, 3 less than Ultima set in the place aeons past. The Mother Crystals of Zemicus was the first to fall, followed by Drake's Horn in southern Ash and Drake's Eye in the northern territories. Now nothing remains of them save for the scars left behind by their passing. So Gil, interesting. Of all the things now. Gil has been common currency for Valestia ever since the signing of the Continental Accord many centuries ago. The Accord entrusted the administration of the currency to the realm's most trusted merchant guild, headquartered in what would later become the Free Cities of Canver. The new currency took its name from the founder of said merchant guild, the legendary trader Gilbert the Golden. Trade flourished around the newly established mint, and over time the worship of money grew into a full-fledged religion, the Great Bank of Gilbert the Lender. See, one of the hardest known materials in the Twins, seams of its ore have only been found in the far-flung reaches of Ash, where the forces of first Veldemark, then Warlord, often warred with the ores who claimed the lands as their own. Though the metal makes for fine arms and armor, the rarity of both its ore and craftsmen versed in the peculiarities of its forging ensure that adamantine weapons remain the preserve of the rich and powerful.
You wish to study the tomes? You are always welcome,
There's
Clive.
so much to read up on.
Sid, did you know that chocobos are far more resilient to the effects of ether than most other beasts? Some say that's one of the reasons they were tamed for use as mounts and summiters, so that an ether flood wouldn't mean instant death for their riders or drivers. Me, I reckon they built it up over generations. Too many foolish traders driving their birds into floods, and only the toughest surviving.
Oh my god, what's going on here? Sorry about that.
There's a storm coming, Sid.
Did you see that? Tell me you see that.
See, no new side quests. But it looks like maybe new hunts. Ask about hunts. How goes the hunt, Kupo? I see if these sparkles weren't bad enough on their own. I hear that some of them like to invite friends to the party. Whenever fair, Kupo, I and Nectar the Boach will always be with you. In spirit, if you need more practical assistance, Kupo, then turn to Turgle. More dialogue? I, for one, am shocked, I tell you, that certain members of your very own species have earned themselves a place in this rogues gallery, Kupo. But evil is as evil does, and it is every hero's duty to vanquish it, no matter how close to home it might appear, Kupo. See, the 10 of clubs, Vamor Dalmekia, Quiet Sands Rosaria, that's Magus Brothers. And another question mark. Sanbreque legend tells of a dead dragon who set near half the realm alight with his torrid breath before being sealed away behind a magical mist by Grieger herself, some sources claim, though it has long been forgotten which parts of the tale are true and which are mere myth. Recent reports of a great dragon's roar reverberating around the woodland passes of the Empire are real enough. Good. Okay. Wait, sorry. Oh, we also have Bahamut now, don't we? So we got Vamir, Dalmekia, and Quiet Sands Rosaria. Oh, but we can't go anywhere yet. Alright. Oh, guess we should talk to Vivian.
Clive. Allow me to educate you.
She has? Okay.
The state of the realm is ever-changing, Clive.
Otto, how fares the realm? The realm? Oh, she's just fine. As long as you look past the fat storms out at Mother Crystals and the skies are a roiling cesspit. And Gav? He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
All right, fine. What do you suggest we do?
Oh, no, I'm just a messenger. I'll leave the scheming to those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
I suppose not.
Yep. I figured as much.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe? Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
I hope so.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts.
Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen Mother Crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces, now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dhalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off Storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Waloed deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
None but us.
I just realized they never really went into what the Empire was hiding with the Mother Crystals, although I guess it's just whatever Sid was predicting. I would have thought we would have learned something about it though.
It seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
Then, what else was there? There's the whole thing with like astrologers and stuff. Whether they were just people who were just manipulating things because of Annabella. Probably might find more, I guess, when we go upon Waloed.
Let me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? But Ultima was one of the gods responsible.
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. And we will always be grateful for it. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
Is a storm
Wonder if it'll be an interesting way of doing it, because the previous games that had the World of Ruin always kind of happened with the time skip. But I wonder if this one is kind of just the seeing the world transform into the World of Ruin.
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one. That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are three. We had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a cashier at her gates, and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only two people who can.
Jill and I.
Let them know we're on our way.
Ah, that's where side quests have popped up. One sec though. At least I think so. And not just regular quests. Oh, maybe it is just regular quests. Which is fine too. No, what was I doing? 6,800. Not a lot. Ooh, 100. Satellite. Summon multiple light aspected familiars that attack any enemy on which Clive uses magic. Wait. Summon multiple light aspected familiars that attack any enemy on which Clive... It's only 100, so why not? So let's see here. Yeah, upgrade increases the number of satellites. Yeah, it's only 700. Okay. Then we got this one. Giga Flare. Fire a massive beam of overcharged light that burns any enemy hits. Oh, we're taking that. Sold. Let's see, what is the upgrade? Increases the number of hits inflicted by the beam. Okay. Freaking A. Alright, so let's see. See. Maybe I'll switch this to Bahamut. I had a pretty good combo with it. But I like the parry. And this is just like... What's the word? Gotta have the heals.
Clive!
Oh.
I don't mean to be gloomy.
See, but the whole world's gone to shit. Reports used to be about troop movements and chances to set bears free. Now it's all ether floods, Akashic attacks, and plagues of bloody bandits. The Cursebreakers and all of our other allies are doing what they can to keep their heads above water,
They
but
need all the help they can get.
they're counting on you, Clive. We all are.
You off then?
Alright. Oh, let's see. Hold on.
How are you
Check this.
doing?
Alliant
Here you
reports.
go.
Why we fight. The flames of war. Down the rabbit hole. Oh, these are the main
Always
quest
something
names.
in there.
Okay. Let's go and look for... What's it? Oh, for Dalmekia it was... What the heck was it called? It's one of those things where I think I can remember the name if I see it. Nope, I don't remember the name. Hold on. Lamer, Damakia. But I don't know if I've seen it. Maybe I have to explore more of the area first. Some of these places I've not been to. Alright. Well, we'll move on with the story over here then. The final sting. I forgot. I should assign the right things here. So multiple spirits of light that upon attacking the enemy deal continuous damage. Binding it to the spot. That sounds really cool. Flare breath. Breathe forth a plume of light aspected flame that deals continuous damage. Well, I guess I'll work on those first.
Poor bastard. Couldn't run because of the weight of his load. Still, better a branded than one of us.
Fucking thieving bastards. If you're wondering why Dalimil's in such a sorry state, you can blame the bandits. Them and the mercenaries who are guarding the gates. Though I can hardly fault them for running. Fighting would have meant death. Did for more than a few. Oh, I'm ruined.
Sid, your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried? You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalimil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago. Any idea where they went? The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Ah, as if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalimil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Down the rabbit hole.
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
Fetch!
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandit's ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
And we can solve that problem, right? Basically. Do the work for free, for the most part.
Victor. What's he doing here?
I started around 8:15ish, so I haven't been streaming for long. I'm probably gonna do a short one though, cause it's just too hot. I mean, between the weather and then your stream, you know. Right when you got off, was it? I didn't know how long you were gonna be streaming for.
Sid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalamil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalamil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
Yo, Quicken, how's it going? Wow, I'm surprised you're here. I'm doing pretty good. Aren't you behind on the game? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
Had enough fighting.
I know, I bloody well.
Because this may be spoiler territory for you too. I mean, it is also for Michaela. But she did say that she's not actually paying attention, which that's what she always says. Who knows if that's true? She could just be sitting down taking notes.
So, you see my predicament? What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear could set the entire town alight. My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
We take care of them ourselves.
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own. Before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along.
Play along.
What he means to say is yes.
Okay. Sorry. I was gonna say, so how is Diablo 4? I heard that there's a new season, so you can reset your classes or something. And also heard there's a new patch that a lot of people don't like. I'm not sure if it happened already. Let's see here. Slightly pay attention while playing other games. So in other words, you're not really paying attention, so that's probably a good thing. Can't wait until you get Michaela addicted to 14. I don't know whether she'll actually start on 14. I mean, if she does start on 14, I don't know. I had a hard time starting on 14, and yeah, I don't know. Don't know if you can get her started on 14 anytime soon. I think if Michaela started on 14, she would play for like a few days and just completely drop it. Possibly play it offline. I don't know. It's okay if you're not listening to me. I appreciate that you are, but you know, spoilers and stuff. Or you're listening to me and not the game, so that's also just as good. Or better.
Here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canberra to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalamel's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you call the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
She caught on to it. What's going on, killer? How you doing? For just had the season, you can make new characters on a separate server for seasonal stuff. It's been fun, but I understand people are not happy at the moment. I see. Thank you for giving Killer and Quicken shout out, Michaela. League of Legends. Is that a game you're going back to, or is there a review for something new with that one, Killer? Kind of want to get started on Diablo 4, but I don't think I've ever started Diablo 3 even. Me, Warrior Woman. Hey, long time no see. How are you doing?
And we may yet be allowed to keep it.
Yes, but I agree with
Oh, people just popping on my stream today. I don't know why. Not that I don't appreciate it. How's everyone's weekend been so far? It's a guilty addiction. Don't play Diablo 4 at the moment. They screwed it up so badly. That's what I was. That's what I was actually just asking about with Quicken because of I heard about the recent patch. I heard people aren't happy with it, but I don't know too much about Diablo 4, so I can't say. And thank you for giving Warrior Woman a shout out, Michaela. Yeah, I've had people who also helped me with 14, but it's really hard to also continue with it. Like I restarted Final Fantasy 14 like 3 times, and I still never went through vanilla. But I have all the collector's editions, including Endwalker, because I don't play too many MMOs. But I met Naoki Yoshida like multiple times, and he's such a nice guy. I was like, dude, I will support this game, even if I haven't actually played them. I've been buying them. I do plan to play through it someday though. Just go through the story. I think it's free up to a certain point now, isn't it? Like up to a certain level and expansion, maybe.
Ah, here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill.
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
I was gonna say, like she totally sees through it. Cabot, doesn't she know though who we are? Because
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good, merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
I feel like was she there when we accidentally, well not accidentally, but basically destroyed the tavern? See, it's finished all the way to level 60 with Heaven's Sword expansion. Yeah, okay. That's a pretty good amount too. Because what is after that? There's Stormblood. I'm trying to look at what I have here. There's Stormblood. Shadowbringer, I think, and then Endwalker. Is that right?
Mummy, I'm scared.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm ruined.
I wonder if I can still, or whether I even did, redeem all this collector's edition stuff. But yeah, I know you can work right through it because I've had people who tried to help me. Like they would like make my gear and everything to go through